I died choking on my own blood. The metallic tang flooding my mouth as the elevator cable snapped, and I plummeted 30 stories through the heart of Manhattan's steel jungle. Betrayed by the one person I trusted most, my mentor, my lover, my executioner, Ethan Hale, who rigged the sabotage with a smile that still haunts me. But death isn't the end, it's a goddamn reset button. And here I am, gasping awake in my old apartment on the morning it all began. My heart pounding like a war drum, fingers clutching sheets that smell of yesterday's cheap coffee and unfulfilled dreams. The clock on my nightstand blinks 7:45 a.m. September 15th. The same cursed date from 2 years ago when Ethan handed me the pink slip at 8 a.m. sharp. His voice dripping honeyed lies about restructuring, while his eyes screamed triumph. I bolt upright, staring at my reflection in the cracked mirror across the room, 28-year-old Marley Voss. Wide-eyed and alive. Not the broken 30-year-old corpse they fished from the rubble. This isn't a dream. The scar on my knee from that stupid college ski trip is still there. The faint freckles across my nose mocking me with their permanence. I've been given a second shot. And hell if I won't use it to bury Ethan alive in the empire he stole from me. My phone buzzes on the dresser. The same notification chime that once announced my doom, an email from HR confirming my 8 a.m. termination meeting. I laugh. A raw, jagged sound that echoes off the peeling wallpaper of my Brooklyn walk-up. Fired at 8 a.m., by 5 p.m., in my first life, I was homeless and hopeless, watching from the shadows as Ethan ascended on the wings of my ideas. This time, by 5 p.m., I'll own Vosteka's most valuable asset, the AI patent that birthed the company, the one he gaslit me into signing over. Revenge isn't a dish, it's a fucking feast. And I'm starving. I dress like armor, a crisp white blouse under a fitted navy blazer. Pencil skirt hugging my hips just enough to remind the world I'm not invisible anymore. No more frumpy cardigans or downcast eyes. This Marley walks like she owns the streets of New York. The subway ride to Midtown is a blur of fluorescent lights and weary commuters. But my mind races ahead, replaying the betrayal in vivid, venomous detail. Vostek started as my baby. Born in a dingy garage in Queens with lines of code I hammered out during sleepless nights after Mom's cancer took her. I was the prodigy. The 25-year-old was kid who turned machine learning into a billion-dollar beast. Ethan? He was the silver fox investor. 42 and charming, who swooped in with funding and whispers of partnership. We're a team. Marley, he'd say, his hand on my thigh under conference tables, sealing deals with kisses that tasted like ambition. But teams don't frame you for embezzlement. They don't sleep with your best friend, Lila, to fabricate alibis. They sure as hell don't cut elevator brakes because you discovered their dirty secret, siphoning funds to offshore accounts, laundering money for God knows what cartel ties. I found the ledgers 2 years from now, well, my first now hidden in an encrypted drive he thought I'd never crack. Confronting him in that penthouse suite, rain lashing the windows like Judgment Day, was my last mistake. You're in over your head, sweetheart, he sneered, before the world went black in freefall. The elevator dings at Vosteka's 42nd floor, and I step out into the glass and chrome lobby, heart slamming against my ribs. Familiar faces glance up from cubicles, interns with fresh tattoos, execs nursing lattes, but they blur into extras in my revenge script. Lila's at reception, her red hair a beacon of false friendship, typing away with nails like talons. In my old life, she hugged me after the firing, tears in her eyes. before spilling my secrets to Ethan over champagne. Morning. Marley. Big meeting today, she chirps. All saccharine smiles. I lean in, close enough to smell her vanilla perfume, the same one that clung to Ethan's sheets. Bigger than you know. Lila. Tell Ethan I'm early. Wouldn't want to miss the show. Her brows furrow. But I sail past. Heels clicking like gunfire on marble. The boardroom awaits. A sterile chamber of power with its panoramic views of the Hudson and walls lined with awards that should bear my name. Ethan's already there. Pacing in his bespoke suit, phone to his ear, barking orders in that velvet baritone that once made my knees weak. Now it just makes me want to vomit. He hangs up as I enter, flashing that predator's grin. Marley, you're punctual as ever. Sit. No warmth. Just calculation. The HR drone. A mousy woman named Karen fidgets with papers, avoiding my gaze. I don't sit. Instead, I plant my palms on the table, leaning forward so my shadow eclipses his. Let's skip the bullshit. Ethan. You called this meeting to fire me. For performance issues, right? After I delivered the Nexus AI prototype that tripled our valuation overnight. His eyes narrow. A flicker of surprise. He's not used to pushback from the grateful protege. Karen clears her throat. MS. Voss. Per company policy. I cut her off with a raised hand, never breaking Ethan's stare. Policy? The same policy that lets you steal patents from founders who built this from scratch? Sign this. I slide a folder across the table, prepared last night in a frenzy of what I know is coming. Inside, a revised IP transfer agreement, flipping the Nexus patent back to me personally, with clauses tying Ethan's hands on any termination without severance equaling 51% equity stake. Ethan chuckles. Low and dangerous. Flipping through it. Bold move. Kid. But you're out. Lila's reports say you're unstable, missed deadlines. Erratic behavior. Lies. All crafted in their bed. I knew this script by heart. Unstable? Or just onto you? The Cayman accounts. Ethan. The shell companies funneling millions to narcos. I have the files. Bluff. For now, my old self didn't back them up until too late, but his face drains of color, confirming everything. Karen gasps, but Ethan's recovered, slamming the folder shut. You're fired. Security. No security comes. I anticipated that too. A quick call to my old college buddy, now a junior exec. Planted doubts about pending audits. The door stays shut. Sign it, I hiss. Voice steady as steel. Or I walk out and call the feds on my way. Your choice. Minutes stretch like taffy, his jaw clenches, eyes boring into mine with hatred I savor like fine whiskey. Finally, pen in hand, he scrawls his name, each stroke a concession. By 8:15, it's done. Karen stammers about protocols, but I wave her off. Update the records. Marley's the majority shareholder now. The lobby buzzes as I stride out, whispers trailing like smoke. Lila's frozen at her desk, phone halfway to her ear, probably alerting her lover. I pause, dropping a USB drive on her keyboard. A gift. Our friendship chats. The ones where you detail screwing the boss for promotion. Post them if you want. I'll be watching from my new office. Her face crumples, and I feel the first sweet sting of victory. But it's just the appetizer. Ethan thinks this is check. It's my opening gambit. Lunch is a solitary affair at a deli on Fifth Avenue. Turkey Club dripping mustard as I scroll encrypted emails from my burner phone. In my first life, post-firing, I drowned in cheap Merlot and job rejections. Lila's pity texts twisting the knife. This time, I'm surgical. The patent's mine. Nexus AI. The crown jewel worth $500 million on the open market, but it's worthless without leverage. Ethan's secret isn't just greed, it's blood money. Whispers from boardroom side chats in my old timeline pointed to ties with a Mexican syndicate, laundering through tech investments. Proving it means diving into the viper pit. But I've got 2 years foreknowledge as my Excalibur. Afternoon bleeds into strategy. I hit a cyber cafe in Chelsea, VPN layered like onion skin, pulling strings from ghosts of data past. Forum dives into dark web chatter, coders I'd hired in Life 1, now unwitting allies. By 3 p.m., I've got a digital trail, transaction logs mirroring the ones that doomed me, timestamped to Ethan's private server. A ghost in the machine, courtesy of a backdoor I coded into Nexus during beta testing. For security, I told him then. Irony tastes like ash. Back at Vostek by 4:30. The office hums with unease, rumors of my coup spreading like wildfire. Execs cluster in corners, shooting glances my way. I commandeer a conference room, projecting the patent transfer on the wall for any doubters. Effective immediately, I announce to the floor via intercom. Voice amplified with the confidence of the damned. Marley Voss retains controlling interest. Ethan Hale remains CEO. For now. The for now hangs like a guillotine. Ethan storms in at 4:50. Face thunderous. Lila trailing like a whipped dog. This isn't over. Marley. You think a forged signature holds water? I spin in the chair, his chair now mine, smiling serenely. Forged? We have witnesses. And backups. Speaking of, check your email. His phone pings. I watch the blood leave his face again as the transaction logs bloom on his screen. Redacted just enough to terrify without tipping my hand. Resign quietly, or this goes to the SEC and Interpol by dawn. Your narco pals won't like loose ends. He lunges, but Lila grabs his arm. Smart girl. Finally seeing the sinking ship. Ethan, don't. Tension crackles. The room shrinking around us. This is the controversial line. Blackmail over justice. Playing dirty to bury the dirtier. In my old life, I played by rules and died for it. Now, rules are for suckers. He straightens, forcing composure. You always were the clever one. Fine. I'll step down. But you'll regret this. Venom in every syllable. But he turns, exiting with dignity shredded. By 5 p.m., it's official. I own the asset, the company, the narrative. Board votes unanimous. Fear's a hell of a motivator. Champagne pops in the lounge. Toasts to new leadership, but I sip water. Eyes on the horizon. Lila approaches, eyes red-rimmed. Marley? I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I tilt my head. Appraising. Forgiveness? Tempting. But weak. Mistakes have consequences. Lila. You're demoted to mailroom. Earn it back. Cool? Maybe. Necessary? Absolutely. As she slinks away, I feel the weight of what's next. Ethan's not done. Neither am I. The real revenge? Dismantling his empire brick by bloody brick. Starting with the shadows he hides in. Night falls over the city like a velvet shroud, and I retreat to my old apartment, now a war room. Laptop glows with schematics, Nexus upgrades, I shelved in Life 1. Innovations that'll skyrocket Vostek while starving Ethan's escape routes. But sleep evades me. Ghosts whisper of the fall. The snap of cables. Ethan's laugh echoing in the void. Was it worth it? The embezzlement? Yes, but the deeper cut was personal. He didn't just steal my work, he stole my faith in people. In love. Lila was the prelude. A jealous understudy clawing for the spotlight. Their affair started months before the firing. Pillow talk plotting my erasure. I found texts in the wreckage. She's out of the picture soon. Our future's bright. Dawn breaks, with resolve hardened to diamond. Day 2. Consolidate power. I arrive at Vostek, my Vostek, at 7 a.m. Coffee in hand, commandeering the C-suite. First order, audit everything. Forensic accountants swarm like locusts, unearthing the rot Ethan buried. By noon, we've got paper trails linking him to Shellcore in Panama, millions funneled. Not just greed, but desperation. A gambling debt to the Sinaloa remnants, paid in tech favors. The secret unravels. My mentor, the man who taught me to code, was a junkie for high stakes, betting company futures on roulette wheels in Macau. Controversy brews fast. Reporters sniff blood. A leak, mine. Anonymous hints at executive misconduct. Stocks dip 5%. But I spin it. Transparency under new leadership. Interviews on CNBC. My face calm. Words measured American steel. Vostek is innovating, not investigating. But integrity matters. Off-air. I greenlight a whistleblower fund. Poaching talent from rivals. Ethan's old allies squirm. Board members with side hustles. Execs with mistresses on payroll. I offer deals. Confess and walk. Or face the storm. Lila's my wild card. Mailroom drudgery breaks her by week 2. She corners me in the ladies' room. Mascara-streaked plea. I did it for us. Marley. You were always the star I wanted in. Lies wrapped in half-truths. In Life 1, her envy festered from intern days, watching me shine while she stagnated. I could have fired her outright, petty, satisfying, but controversy demands nuance. Prove loyalty, I say, handing her a flash drive. Infiltrate Ethan's circle. Get me his burner phone logs. Betrayal for betrayal, it's poetic. And it stings her more than demotion. She nods, eyes hollow, and I wonder if I'm forging a monster or mending a friend. Ethan counters viciously. Anonymous blogs erupt. Voss the vixen, sex, lies, and corporate theft. Doctored photos, me in compromising poses with board members. AI deep-faked perfection. Public outrage flares. Cancel Marley trends on X. Feminists decrying. Another power-hungry bitch. Tense calls with PR. My hands shaking as I scroll vitriol. Controversial decision numero dos. Fight fire with fire. I release a statement. Raw and unfiltered. I've been silenced before. Not again. Here's the truth. Accompanied by redacted ledgers. Enough to hook the press, without sinking the ship. Outrage pivots to Ethan. Hailgate explodes. His face plastered on tabloids as the villain. By month's end, Vostek rebounds. Nexus 2.0 beta launching to rave reviews. Revenues spikes 30%. My net worth ballooning to 9 figures. But tension coils tighter. Ethan's gone underground. Whispers of a safe house in the Hamptons. Lila delivers. Logs showing calls to a fixer named Raoul. Cartel muscle. He's planning something big, she whispers in my office. Voice trembling. Gratitude wars with suspicion. Is she playing both sides? I wire her a bonus. Keep her close. Good work. Stay sharp. The holidays approach. Manhattan aglow with tacky cheer. But my world's a pressure cooker. A bored dinner at Per Se turns ambush. Ethan's proxy, a sleazy lawyer named Hargrove, slides across a settlement offer, $50 million to bury the hatchet. He's willing to confess. Marley. Take the win. I laugh into my foie gras, the table falling silent. Confess to what? Embezzlement? Or murder? Gasps ripple. Hargrove pales. Controversial? Leaking that word, murder, to the room, knowing it'll hit headlines by morning. Ethan's not just a thief, he's a killer. The elevator no accident, but premeditated. Proof's thin, a tampered maintenance log I memorized, but implication wounds deep. Fallout's seismic. Feds knock at dawn. Subpoenas flying. Vosteka stock soars on the drama. Investors betting on my phoenix rise. Lila vanishes for a day, panic spikes. But she returns with gold, a recorded call. Ethan to Raoul. Finish Voss like the elevator. Make it look like suicide. My blood ices. It's validation. The twist of the knife I needed. But playing it risks everything, exposed too soon. He bolts, wait. And I'm the next body. Climax builds in the shadows. Christmas Eve. Snow blanketing Central Park. I lure him out. A forged invite to negotiate at the plaza, under crystal chandeliers and holiday jazz. He arrives alone. Gaunt. Eyes wild with cornered rat fury. You win. Marley. Name your price. We sip scotch in a private suite. City lights mocking his fall. I lean in. Voice low. Justice. Confess on camera, embezzlement. The cartel. The breaks. He sneers. But I've got leverage. Lila's feed. Live streaming from his Hamptons lair. Raoul's goons packing heat. Your move, Ethan. He cracks, ranting about debts. Betrayals me. For teasing success without sharing. The recording rolls. His empire crumbling in pixels. But the twist hits like lightning. As he signs the affidavit, door bursts open, not feds, but Raoul's men. Silenced pistols glinting. Lila's betrayal. Double-dipped. She sold me out for a cut of Ethan's desperation payout. Gunfire echoes. Chaos erupts. Ethan dives for cover. I scramble behind the bar. Heart thundering. In the melee, controversial calculus. I grab a letter opener. Not to kill, but to slash the camera cord, erasing evidence that could drag Vostek down with them. Self-preservation over purity. It's the American way. Ruthless and redeemed. Raoul's thug corners me. Breath reeking of tequila. But Ethan lunges. Tackling him. Not her. She's worth more alive. A beat of stunned alliance. Before cops swarm, anonymous tip. My doing. Dawn breaks on cleanup. Ethan's arrested. Spilling guts to save his skin. Cartel confessions. Elevator sabotage pinned on him alone. Lila's nabbed at the airport. Bound for Cabo with blood money. Me. Cleared. Hailed as survivor. Vostek thrives. Nexus revolutionizing industries. My name etched in Silicon Eternity. But victory's hollow. In the quiet of my penthouse, upgraded from that walk-up, I pour scotch. toasting the dead woman I was. Revenge rebuilt me. But at what cost? Friends forged in fire. Yet trust's a casualty. Ethan rots in Supermax. Lila in witness protection. Their echoes fading. I glance at the skyline. Alive and unbroken. Second chances aren't clean. They're scarred and savage. And damn if it doesn't feel like living. The first snow of the season dusts the windows of my new office, 42nd floor corner suite, with views that stretch to the Atlantic like a promise of endless horizons. It's January now, 3 months into this reborn life, and Vosteka's a juggernaut under my command. Nexus AI isn't just software, it's the ghost in every machine, predicting market shifts, optimizing supply chains, whispering fortunes to Fortune 500 CEOs. Revenues up 47%. My face on Forbes 30 under 30 Redux, but sleep's a stranger. Nightmares blend timelines. The snap of cables. Ethan's leer. Lila's feigned tears. Awake. I plot contingencies. Because in New York, victory's just set up for the next knife. Board meetings are theater now. Me at the helm in power suits that cost more than my old rent. Today's agenda: expansion into biotech. Nexus diagnosing diseases faster than any MD. But undercurrent simmer. Old guard loyal to Ethan. Their smiles tight as nooses. Victor Lang, CFO. A paunchy relic with a comb-over like a bad toupee. Clears his throat. Marley? The SEC's still sniffing. That anonymous leak about Hale's ties. Risky. Risky? It was surgical. Forcing his hand without implicating the firm. I meet his gaze. Cool as January wind. Riskier to let cancer fester. Victor. Audits cleared us. Move on. Post-meeting. I retreat to my desk. A slab of walnut overlooking the chaos below. Lila's trial prep dominates my inbox. DA's office forwarding depositions. Her lawyer pleading for leniency. Coerced by Hale, the narrative goes. Painting her victim. Bullshit. She chose the bed. The betrayal. Controversial urge. Sabotage her defense. Leak those pillow talk texts to the press. But no, justice is my brand now. Not vengeances. I forward the files to counsel. Adding a note. Full cooperation gets her a deal. Let karma handle the rest. Ethan's rotting in Rikers. Pre-trial lockdown. But his shadow lingers. A package arrives at noon. Unmarked. Heavy. Inside. A USB drive and a Polaroid me. Post-firing in Life 1. Slumped on a bar stool. Eyes hollow. Note in a scrawl. You think you won? This is round 2. My stomach twists. How? Accomplices? Surely. The drive plays a video. Grainy footage from the plaza shootout. Edited to frame me as instigator. Letter opener gleaming like a weapon. Deepfake audio overlays my voice. Finish him. Growl. Heart stops. It's damning. Could unravel everything if leaked. Panic's a luxury I can't afford. I call in favors my cyber team. XNSA hires poached with stock options. Scrubs the metadata. Traces origins to a VPN in Belize. But the threat's live. Ethan's lawyer Hargrove surfaces. Demanding a meet. Settle. Or this hits TMZ at 5 p.m. Neutral ground. A diner in Hell's Kitchen. Vinyl booths sticky with grease. Coffee bitter as regret. Hargrove slides in opposite. Briefcase open. Drive proffered. 10 million. And it vanishes. I sip my mug. Steam curling like secrets. Or I countersue for extortion. Bury you in discovery. He laughs.
Oily.
With what? Hale's got friends in low places. That opener? Intent to kill. Lie, cameras caught the slash as sabotage. Not assault, but doubt creeps. In this life, I've bent rules. The blackmail. The leaks. Am I the villain now? Controversial pivot. I agree to 5 mil. But wire it traceable. Laced with a tracker app my coders whipped up. Deal, I say, shaking his clammy hand. By evening, feds have the breadcrumbs, raiding a Jersey warehouse stocked with cartel cash. Hargrove's collared, drive seized. Ethan's isolated, checkmated. But the wind's Pyrrhic. Press frenzy reignites. Vostek heiress in cartel crossfire? Stocks wobble 8%. I counter with transparency. Live AMA on X. Fielding questions in real time. Voice steady despite the knot in my gut. We've faced threats before. Nexus secures us. Integrity defines us. Views hit millions. Sympathy swells. Lila DMs from custody. Help me. Marley. I was scared.
Delete.
Block. Forgiveness is for saints. I'm a survivor. February thaws with opportunity. A summit in Silicon Valley. Tech titans converging on Palo Alto. Sun-kissed hills mocking Manhattan's grit. I fly first class. Nerves jangling, life won. I crash these as Ethan's arm candy. Ideas dismissed as cute.
Now.
Keynote speaker. Pitching Nexus bio. AI curing rare diseases. Born from mom's ghost. The auditorium hums. Spotlights hot on my skin. Innovation isn't boardroom battles, I say. Voice echoing. It's battles won in labs. For lives like my mother's. Applause thunders. Deals ink on napkins. Pfizer. Mayo Clinic. Billions in pipeline.
Post-talk.
Schmoozing turns sinister. A venture capitalist. Elena Vasquez, sharp-eyed Latina in Louboutins, corners me at the rooftop mixer. Impressive rise.
Voss.
But Hale? He mentioned you once. Off record. Said you were unstable genius. Cribbed his code.
Lie.
Pure venom. Elena's Ethan's ex. Burned in a bad divorce. Now proxy poisoner. I sip my Pinot. Smile razor thin. Ethan's a storyteller. I care for the real plot twist. I pull up my phone. Playing the Plaza audio, his confession.
Raw.
Her face crumples. Alliance forged in mutual hate. What do you need? Intel on his offshore remnants. She offers. Controversial? Trading dirt for dirt. But it's chess. Not checkers. Back in New York. Lila's trial looms. I testify. Not as enemy, but witness, detailing her role without relish. Courtroom's a pressure cooker, fluorescent buzz. Jury eyes boring in. MS. Voss, her lawyer probes. Did you ever pressure MS? Reynolds into disloyalty. Trap. Baiting my revenge as motive. I lean into the mic. Gaze steady. Pressure?
No.
Opportunity?
Yes.
Betrayal chooses itself. Jury nods. She's convicted. 5 years probation. Community service. No jail. But branded. As she shuffles out in cuffs for processing, our eyes meet, hers pleading, mine pitying. You could have been more, I mouth. She nods.
Broken.
Spring blooms. Vosteka's garden. Nexus launches publicly. Headlines screaming, the AI that saves lives. Philanthropy arm funds cancer research. Mom's legacy digitized. But tension spikes, anonymous threats, slashed tires. Dead rats on my doorstep. Ethan's hand or Raoul's ghosts. I hire protection. Ex-Marines shadowing my steps. But paranoia festers. Controversial call. Embed Nexus in security. AI surveillance on employees. For safety. Whispers of Big Brother. A class action suit brews from privacy hawks. Trust but verify, I tell the board. American pragmatism. Freedom's fine.
Tilite bites.
Ethan's trial dates for June. Manhattan Courthouse, a media circus. I prep relentlessly. Memorizing timelines. Practicing poise. But a week out. Twist uncoils. Hargrove flips. Plea deals spilling that Ethan's suicide setup for me was retaliation for Mom's death.
What?
Delve deeper. Old files reveal Ethan consulted on her treatment trial. Cut corners for profit. Accelerating her end. The embezzlement? Covering malpractice payouts. My death was personal. Poetic justice in his twisted mind. Rage boils. Pure and primal. Confrontations inevitable. The eve of trial. I visit him in holding, plexiglass barrier. His face gaunt. Eyes dead fish. Marley, he rasps through the speaker. You look good. Power suits you. Venom drips. Confess fully. Ethan. Mom too. He laughs.
Hollow.
She was collateral. Like you should have been. I press the glass. Inches from implosion. Karma's a coder. Ethan. It debugs assholes like you. Guards pull me back. I leave him to stew. Trial days sweltering. Courtroom packed. Prosecution paints him monster. Ledgers. Recordings. Witness after witness crumbling his facade. My turn on the stand. He didn't just steal code, he stole lives. Cross-exams brutal. Defense painting me vengeful harpy. Reborn in ambition. Objection, my lawyer snaps. Sustained. Jury deliberates 2 days. Verdict, guilty. Life without parole. Cheers erupt. I slip out. Nausea rising. Victory. But Mom's ghost lingers. Unforgiven. Summer simmers with aftermath. Vostek acquires a rival. Stock splits. I'm billionaire by Bloomberg's count. Lila emerges, reformed, volunteering at shelters, penning anonymous apologies in trade rags. A coffee meet? Tempting, but I decline. Scars don't mend with lattes. Yet tension peaks in August heat. A board leak. Victor, the CFO, siphoning petty cash. Ethan's mole. Confrontation in my office. Blinds drawn.
Why?
Victor? Loyalty. He sweats. Confessing fear. Ethan's threats. Controversial mercy. Resignation. Not charges. Go clean, I say. He does. And the board breathes easier. As leaves turn, I reflect from the Hamptons' ironic retreat. Waves crashing like applause. Reborn. Revenged. But remade. The controversial decisions? They haunt.
But hone me.
Ethan's echo fades, mine resonates. In America's grind, second chances aren't gifts, they're gauntlets. And I've crossed the line. Emerging queen. Autumn winds whip through the canyons of Wall Street, carrying whispers of merger mania as Vostek swallows up startups, like a digital Pac-Man. It's October, 6 months post-verdict, and my calendar's a battlefield. TED Talks in Vancouver. Shareholder calls at dawn. Late-night coding sprints to keep Nexus ahead of Chinese knockoffs. Powers intoxicating. A high-octane elixir that dulls the nightmares. But lately, glitches plague the edges. Anonymous emails ping my private server. The echo rebounds.
Voss.
Watch your back. Ethan style. But he's caged. Or is he? The office pulses with fluorescent ambition. Interns darting like minnows among shark tanks. I summon the cyber team for a briefing. 3 millennials in hoodies. Eyes bleary from all-nighters. Trace these, I command, forwarding the chain. Lead hacker. Jax, a pierced-whiz kid with a man bun, frowns at his screen. Ghosted through Tor. But patterns match an inside job. Someone with Nexus access. Paranoia spikes. I've embedded the AI everywhere, including HR vetting. Controversial overreach. Mandate full audits. Polygraphs for C-suite. Board box. Orwellian. But I push. Trust is earned in bites, not handshakes. Lila resurfaces publicly. A puff piece in Wired. From betrayer to better. Redemption in the mailroom. She's consulting now. Ethics workshops for tech bros. Her red hair a banner of reinvention. A gala invite arrives. Charity for code. Black tie at the Met. I RSVP yes. Closure calls. The night unfolds in opulence. Chandeliers dripping light. Gowns swirling like code streams. She approaches amid champagne flutes. Elegant in emerald silk. No trace of the whipped dog.
Marley.
You came. Her hug's tentative. I accept.
Stiff.
Curiosity. How's the high road? We slip to a balcony. City hum below. She spills therapy. Amends. A book deal on corporate toxicity. Ethan groomed me.
Marley.
Isolated you. Made me complicit. Half-truth. Her envy was homegrown, but I nod. Probing. Any loose ends? Eyes flicker. She knows. He's got a sister.
Nadia.
Quiet investor. But dirty. She laundered through art deals.
Gold.
I file it. Toasting. To echoes fading. But as she walks away, doubt nags. Ally or actress. November elections cast long shadows. Political donors courting Vostek for Nexus polling tech. I navigate dinners with senators. Words measured. Data democratizes. Doesn't dictate. Behind scenes, I funnel pack money to anti-corruption bills. Ethan's legacy weaponized for good. But tension escalates. A Nexus breach. Proprietary algos leaked to a Beijing firm. Fingers point inward. Jax's team isolates it to an old admin account, Lila's. Coincidence? Or calculated? Confrontation at a neutral Starbucks. Steam rising like suspicions. The breach, I say flatly. Sliding printouts across. Her face blanches. Marley? I swear, post-trial cleanup. Old passwords. Lies, truth, controversial gamble. Believe her. Integrate tighter security. Or cut ties. Expose? I choose uneasy alliance. Prove it. Help plug the hole. She does. Nights debugging with Jax. Her insights sharp. By Thanksgiving, breach sealed. But trust's a frayed wire. Holiday downtime's myth. I'm in D.C. Testifying on AI ethics before Congress. Spotlights blind. Questions barbed. MS. Voss. Your surveillance suite. Government overreach? I parry. Tools for protection, not predation. With safeguards. Applause from Dems. Scowls from libertarians. Post-hearing, a lobbyist slips me a card. Nadia Hale. Ethan's kin. Veiled as consultant.
Meet.
Tempting bait. December deepens the chill. Vosteka's holiday party at the Rainbow Room. Skyline a jewel box. I arrive solo. Red dress a power move. Mingling with venture vultures. Victor's replacement. A Harvard shark named Theo.
Corners me by the bar.
Merger with Biogen. Your bio push could double valuation. Tempting. But Nadia's shadow looms. She emails. Coffee? Family matters. I agree. A Soho cafe. Hipsters oblivious. Nadia's poised. 40s with Ethan's jawline. Pearls masking steel. He was a fool. Marley. But blood's blood. Drop the civil suits against the estate. And I walk away. Suits? For mom's malpractice. Buried in Ethan's empire. Or, she smiles.
Cold.
I have dirt. Your rebirth. Therapy records from life pre-firing. Painted unstable. Meds. Breakdowns. Investors hate volatility. Bluff. Or hacked. My old self did spiral grief meds. Therapy slips, but nothing damning. Controversial retort. Dirt's mutual.
Nadia.
Your Guernica forgery ring. Nexus flagged it last quarter. Her eyes widen. Check. She counters. Alliance against common foes. Cartel remnants eyeing tech turf. Raoul's out on bail. Gunning for loose ends. Us. Tension coils. Is this trap or a truce? I probe. Ethan's orders?
No.
Survival. We part uneasy. My mind racing. Back home. I dive archives. Nadia's art deals tied to Ethan's launders. But deeper. Mom's trial data manipulated under her oversight. A consulting gig gone wrong. New Year's Eve looms. Parties popping like champagne corks. I host intimate jacks.
Theo.
Key allies at my Tribeca loft. Fireworks bursting over the harbor. Lila crashes. Uninvited. Bottle in hand. Truce. Drunk honesty spills. The breach was her. Panic sell to pay debts. But remorse real. Controversial forgiveness. One chance. In turn again. Earn it. She weeps. Group hugs awkward. But healing? January 2026 rings and mergers. Biogen folds in. Nexus Bio curing trials. Stock soars. But Raoul's specter haunts. A drive-by at my gym. Bullets pinging glass. Protection doubles. I embed Nexus in NYPD feeds. Consulting. Ethics board fumes. Militarizing AI. But saves lives. Nabbing a hit squad. Controversial? Hell yes. But effective American grit. Ethan suicides in February. Hanged in cell. Despair official. No to me. Echo silenced. Grief?
No.
Relief laced with void. Nadia vanishes. Assets frozen. Her dirt evaporates. Lila rises. Project lead on ethics module. Proving metal. Spring renewal. Vostek goes publicish. IPO whispers. But twist brews. Jax uncovers a mole. Theo. Skimming for Chinese buyers. Confrontation in boardroom. Blinds down. Why?
Greed. He spits.
Controversial ouster. Public firing. Stocks dip then rebound on clean house narrative. Summer solstice. I stand at mom's grave in Queens. Stones blooming weeds. Avenged. Mom. Wind whispers absolution. Reborn life's a code. Bugs fixed. But ever evolving. Tension eases, echoes quiet. Or so I think. Midsummer heat waves ripple off the Hudson as Vostek's annual retreat hits the Berkshires, rustic lodges, team-building ropes courses, a facade of unity masking fractures. It's July, and I'm the unchallenged queen, but the crown chafes. Lila's ascent irks old wounds, her ethics module, ironically, flags my surveillance overreach as red flag. Jax backs her in memos, eyes wary during hikes. Boss, it's not 1984 yet. I laugh it off. But doubt festers. Have I become Ethan? Code for control? Retreat culminates in a bonfire confessional. Flames crackling under starprick skies. Stories tumble. Theo's embezzlement a symptom of toxic incentives, per Lila. She speaks last. Voice steady. I betrayed Marley because I envied her fire.
Now?
I stoke it. Applause. I clink her beer. Alliance tentative. But midnight. Alone by the lake. Phone buzzes. Anonymous clip. Lila meeting Nadia in a dive bar. Whispers of insurance policy. Betrayal redux? Heart sinks. Controversial wiretap via Nexus? Ethics be damned. I greenlight it. Back in Manhattan. August swelters with scandals. A whistleblower, ex-intern, sues for hostile environment, citing my polygraphs as torture. Press feasts. Vostek's velvet glove. I settle quietly. $2 mil NDA. But reputational bleed stings. Board pressures. Ease up. Marley. Controversial defiance. Double down on Nexus Guardian. AI for workplace wellness spun as care. Really deeper monitoring. Stock stabilize. Critics howl dystopia. Raoul's trial grips headlines cartel lieutenant. Spilling on Ethan for leniency. Testimony implicates Nadia. Hale's sister wired the hit. Feds raid her vineyard estate. She bolts to Europe. Extradition pending. Lila's tapped calls confirm. Nadia offered cash to flip on Marley. I refused. Truth? Or theater? I confront over dim sum in Chinatown. Steam veiling suspicion. The meat?
She sighs.
Chopsticks pausing. Testing waters. For us, Vostek. Nadia's bluffing with old files. Proof. Forwarded emails. Nadia's desperation. I buy it. For now, partnership deepens. Her by my side in war rooms. September dawns with IPO frenzy. Roadshow across coasts. Pitch decks gleaming. Nexus demos wowing whales. In LA, a producer pitches biopic, Reborn Rebel, starring a rising starlet as me. Tempting vanity. But I decline. My story's still writing. Back east. Filings drop. Underwriters salivate at $100 per share valuation. But tension spikes. Hacker Collective. Echo Collective. DDoS attacks our servers. Manifesto decrying Voss as overlord. Ethan's fans? Or ideological? Jax traces to Eastern Europe. But the damage, leaked employee data, forces apologies. Bonuses. October crashes in with market jitters. Global recession whispers. Tech tanks 15%. Vostek weathers. Nexus hedging portfolios. But board panics. Cut costs layoffs. Controversial stand. No firings. Instead, equity shares for all. We're family, I declare, echoing Ethan's hollow charm. Morale soars. Headlines praise Voss's valor. Lila architects the rollout, her touch humanizing the machine. Halloween Eve. A gala at MoMA, art and algorithms mingling. Nadia's arrested in Paris. Headlines blare, Hale dynasty crumbles. I dance with donors. Lila at my elbow. But a shadow detaches. Elena Vasquez. The VC from Valley Days. Tipsy on martinis. Nadia named you in custody. Says you framed Ethan for Mom's death. Poison dart. Elena's grudge-fueled. Lies. I counter. But seed plants. Probe deeper. Nadia's statement. Leaked. Twists malpractice into my sabotage for inheritance. Absurd. Mom left debts. Not dollars, but optic sour. November rains lash windows as crisis brews. Investors pull back. IPO delayed. Whispers of Voss instability. I call emergency board. Fight the narrative. Lila suggests counterleak. Nadia's forgery rap sheet. Controversial? Weaponizing justice. But survival demands it. We drop it anonymously. Nadia's credibility craters. Extradition fast tracks. Thanksgiving's tense. Families none. So solo turkey in the loft. Netflix numbing. Phone rings, Jax. Voice edged. Boss. Lila's dipping into Guardian code. Backdoors. Betrayals blade twists. Confrontation at dawn. Her apartment a mess of takeout boxes. Explain. Tears flow. Protection for you. Nadia's reach is long. I built fail-safes. Half-truth? Demo shows. Code shields against external hacks.
Not spying.
I exhale. Hug her. No more solos. Bond mends. Fragile. December holidays glitter. But IPO relaunches triumphant. $120/share. Me minted multi-billionaire. Party swirl. Rockefeller tree. Champagne toasts. But twist fractures. Raoul walks on technicality. Technicality bought by Nadia's ghost funds. Threat level red. I bunker. Nexus scanning threats 24/7. New Year's 2027 explodes in renewal. Vostech acquires Elena's firm. Her grudge bought out. Lila's promoted EVP. Ethics her empire. But in quiet moments, fractures show. Therapy sessions unpack the echo, my old self's voice. Warning of hubris. Controversial therapy. Microdose nexus for personal insights. AI mirroring my psyche. Revelations flood. Revenge rebuilt. But isolated me. Call Mom's old friend. Aunt Clara in Jersey. Dinner planned. Roots reclaiming. February frost bites as Raoul resurfaces. Hit on a board member's yacht. Narrowly missed. Feds close in. But he's vapor. Nadia flips in plea. Full confession. Ethan sins hers too. Mom's death? Negligence. Not malice. Relief bittersweet. Civil suit settles. Funds to cancer research. Spring equinox. Lila confesses fully. The bar meet was entrapment setup. FBI bait with her help. To end it, hero or handler, trust teeters. But I anchor. We're echoes together now. Summer solstice retreat redux. Bonfire truths deeper. I share the rebirth, half jest, half heart, laughter ripples. Team bonds, fractures heal. But climax crests in August heat. Raoul's cornered in Bronx warehouse. Nexus tipping feds via pattern recognition. Raids live-streamed internally, victory lap. He spills. Ethan's final order. From beyond grave. Via Nadia. Silence the echo. Suicide note. Code for hit list. Me top. Aftermath. Raoul life sentence.
Nadia too.
Vostech unbreakable. Nexus global. Controversial legacy. AI with echo protocols. Self-audits for bias. Born from my scars. As leaves turn anew, I stand at the Hudson. Wind whispering closure. Reborn. Fractured. Forged. The fall's echoes?
Symphonies now.
The first frost of fall 2027 etches fractals on my penthouse windows. A crystalline map of paths traversed and battles won. Vostek is no longer a company. It's an ecosystem. Nexus tendrils weaving through healthcare, finance, even climate modeling, saving forests one algorithm at a time. I'm 30 now. Lines etching my eyes from late nights and hard stares. But the mirror reflects resilience, not ruin. Lila's my shadow so. Her red hair a streak of fire in boardroom tempests. Jax runs innovation. Man bun traded for a sleek undercut. The team's family, forged in echo's fire. But the past's resonance hums low, a bass note in triumph's symphony. October's board off-site in Aspen, crisp air. Aspen leaves gold as stock charts. Agenda, global expansion. Nexus Africa for disease tracking. But undercurrents stir. Ethics audits flag guardians echo. My old surveillance suite as overreach. Privacy suits mounting in EU courts. Lila presents reforms. Opt-in only. Data deletion mandates. Power without principle is poison, she quotes. Eyes on me. Controversial concession. I approve. Scaling back. Stocks dip 2%. But trust rebounds. Headlines shift from Voss overlord to Voss evolves. Post-meeting. Ski slopes call a rare unplug. Lila and I carve powder. Laughter echoing off peaks. Remember the mailroom? She yells over wind. I nod. Poles digging snow. Best emotion ever. Atop the lift. Breathless. She turns serious. Marley? The back doors, I lied. They were for me. Monitoring Nadia. But also.
You.
Afraid you'd spiral like before. Sting sharp. Trust fractures anew. Why?
Love.
Twisted. But real. You rebuilt me. I guarded you. Confession hangs.
Raw.
Controversial absolution. Delete them. We're equals now. She nods. Tears freezing on lashes. Bond resonates deeper. Scars shared. November elections sweep and change. Pro-AI Dems dominate. My PAC's pivotal. Testifying in D.C. Again. This time as ally. Nexus isn't control, it's compass. Applause bipartisan. Invites flood for advisory roles. But resonance darkens. A memoir ghostwriter approaches. Ethan's jail scribbles smuggled out. The real Voss. Prodigy or pariah? Snippets leak. Me as calculating cunt. Twisting his narrative. PR spins. Sour grapes from the fallen. But it gnaws. Therapy unpacks. Am I the echo? Or its amplifier? Thanksgiving's communal this year. Loft feast with the team. Aunt Clara's pie a Jersey anchor. Stories flow. Jax's hacker origins. Lila's wild youth. I share fragments. The dream of falling. Rebirth's jolt. They listen. No judgment. Resonance builds community. Post-dinner. Clara pulls me aside. Your mod be proud.
Kid.
But don't forget joy. Wisdom sticks. I book a sabbatical whisper. Bali. Unplugged. December holidays dazzle. Voss Tech Gala at Lincoln Center. Nutcracker remix with holographic swans via Nexus. Donors dazzle. But a face from shadows. Elena Vasquez. Redeemed. Toasting to women who rise. Grudge buried. We collab on a Women in Tech fund. Lila dances with Jax. Sparks flying organic. Unmonitored. I sip eggnog. Content. New Year's 2028 dawns in Bali, waves lapping Ubud Villa. Yoga mats and mindfulness apps ironic companions. No nexus, just journals. Scrawling the untold. The death plunge. Cables whipping air. Ethan's betrayal a supernova. Catharsis flows. I emerge clarified. Resonance harmonious. Back stateside. January IPO anniversary batch, trillion valuation tease. But climax crescendos. Echo collective unmasks, not foes. But insiders. Jax and Lila's pet project. To keep you human, Jax confesses in my office. Grins sheepish. The DDoS? Simulated. Stress test for resilience. Outrage flares, betrayal, then laughter bubbles. Controversial embrace. You're fired. As my conscience. Promoted to Kothas. Team expands, polyphony over solo. February thaws with philanthropy peak. Mom's Foundation cures a rare leukemia strain via Nexus Bio. Press conference. Tears real. For echoes that heal. Lila's arm links mine. Resonance familial. Spring blooms scandals anew. EU fines for past guardian sins. $500 mill hit. I testify virtually. Contrite. Lessons learned. Settlement funds, privacy initiatives, stocks Phoenix. Summer solstice. Retreat tradition evolves, Berkshires again. But with families. Kids splashing lakes. I date tentatively a journalist. Sharp wit. No agendas. Sparks tentative, resonance budding. August heat. Raoul appeals denied. Life affirmed. Nadia rots in women's pen. Appeals fruitless. Ethan's memoir flops. Pulpta's libel. September equinox. Vostok summits UN. Nexus for global good. Famine prediction. Peace accords via data diplomacy. I cannot. Voice global. From betrayal's echo to world's resonance. October winds circle closure. Aunt Clara's passing, peaceful. Cancer beaten early via Artec. Funeral in Queens. Graveside vows. Echoes eternal. But lives louder. November chill. Elections mine. Advisory to Prez on AI ethics. Lila announces. Pregnant. Jax beaming. Joy resonates. December snows soft. Holidays heartfelt. Team toasts. To Marley, the original code. As 2029 beckons. I stand at the Hudson. Ice flows drifting. Reborn in fire. Tempered in frost. I resonate whole. Revenge was the bass line. This symphony's mine. Dramatic. Controversial. Tense. Unapologetically American. The echo. Not haunting, but harmonizing.
And damn.
It sings. Twist finale. In the penthouse. A letter arrives, postmarked Rikers. Ethan's hand. Not suicide note, but confession unsent. You won because you echoed me. Ruthless.
Reborn.
Forgive?
No.
But respect. I burn it. Ashes to wind. No biopic needed. My stories lived. Loved.
Lasting.